this One Network News update, horror no apology can erase. The Japanese Prime Minister has apologised for atrocities during World War II, but some veterans can't forget the suffering.
Torture, so many forms.
As part of a late edition special report on the 50th anniversary of VJ Day, former prisoners of war remember their living hell.
This is how peace came to New Zealand. At Wellington's naval base, minesweeper crews let the city know that Japan has surrendered. On board a British submarine, sailors usher in the era of peace. For this pistol-popping fighter, this is the supreme moment. This is the day we'd all been waiting for. 6 years is a long time when a country is at war. But in the end, we've done it. We've won through. The streets are soon filled with bands and people, happy, singing, cheering people. People freed from the tension of war. This is the time for celebration. This is the time for everybody to be together. The whole country rejoices.
August the 15th, 1945. Today, August the 15th, 1995, New Zealand remembers. Kia ora and good evening from the capital, where Her Excellency the Governor-General is just arriving for the opening of New Zealand Remembers. Today must have brought back many memories for the veterans of World War II who have special places of honour here at Parliament. The pageant tonight will feature members of all our armed forces and some from overseas. But it'll open once Her Excellency has arrived here at Parliament with a somewhat forceful greeting from Maori soldiers from Linton Camp. They recall the deeds and mana of their predecessors in a haka. The Skyhawks of 75 Squadron fly a long line of history as they pay their tribute. 50 years ago, 75 Squadron belonged to the Royal Air Force. Its air crew were all New Zealanders, taking their Wellington and Lancaster bombers on nightly raids deep into Europe. Now the successors of those brave World War II airmen fly away from the capital back to their base at Ohakia.
Kia ora and welcome. I'm delighted you've joined us on the forecourt of Parliament Buildings in Wellington for tonight's pageant in which New Zealand remembers that wonderful day 50 years ago when World War II ended and the peace was won. As you can see, I'm feeling in a nostalgic mood already. Grandma was probably wearing something like this when she and her friends went out to celebrate VJ Night on the 15th of August 1945. Over the next hour, we're going to remember those wartime days and the New Zealanders who gave so much at home and overseas. The Army, Navy and Air Force are all here, as are the American Marines. They're standing by with ships, planes, guns and bands to offer their salute and celebration. And we hope you'll join in to sing some familiar songs from 50 years ago. Let's begin, though, by turning the clocks back even further, to the 1800s.
Over a century and a half since Maori warriors and colonial militia confronted each other in the land wars, New Zealanders have built a proud military tradition. Our soldiers' first expedition overseas was almost 100 years ago, when 6,500 men responded to King Dick Seddon's call for volunteers to help the imperial cause in South Africa. Public donations equipped the 10 contingents, including 8,000 horses. But the First World War from 1914 to 1918 provided the anvil on which New Zealand's military metal was forged. As well as Gallipoli, where Anzac was stamped in the pages of history, New Zealanders served in most campaigns of the war to end all wars. When the soldiers had settled back home, we seemed to think that indeed there would be no more war. By the early 1930s, the full army muster was fewer than 350 men. And as we pushed back the depression, the government was saying, not a penny more on defence until we have full social security. But soon, change was forced upon us. As Hitler rampaged across Europe, New Zealanders again prepared to go to war in distant places. They served in the deserts of North Africa, the fields and mountains of Europe, in Asia and the island jungles of the Pacific, in all the major oceans and seas, in the skies above Europe and North Africa, Asia and the Pacific. The army went from less than a battalion to 3 divisions. The Air Force, fewer than 100 in 1937, grew to over 40,000. The Navy began the war with 1,000 sailors and 3 ships and grew to over 10,000 men and women and more than 60 ships. And all this from a country of 1.5 million people. But even as we celebrated 50 years ago, peace was threatened by the Cold War. Our soldiers, sailors and airmen went to serve again in Korea, Malaya, Vietnam. They played their part too, peacekeeping in other conflicts with other causes. In Borneo, the Middle East, Africa, the Gulf, and now in Bosnia, former Yugoslavia. They've gone together, Maori and Pākehā, men and women, armed and unarmed, to represent New Zealand in troubled times in Cyprus, the Indian subcontinent, Israel, Southern Africa, Cambodia, Somalia, Rwanda, Mozambique, Haiti, and closer to home in the South Pacific. The Defence Force have earned for us a reputation out of all proportion to our size. They've turned enemies into allies by being reliable and dedicated and ready to do whatever has to be done in the cause of peace.
I want to say how darn glad I am to be back in little old NZ. After being right round the world, we're quite sure that it is God's own country.
And the man stands in the enemy, and will die till the end. And now the king and the country, like the king I will tell you what's new with you. I will tell you small and true. I will tell you what's new, Lord. Take the honor of the people with you. We will march, march, march to the end. We will fight, fight to the end. For God, for King, and for country. Away! Aki, aki, kia, kae. Holy battalion, march to victory. Holy battalion, staunch and true. Holy battalion, march to glory. Take the honor of the people with you. We will march, march, march to the end. We will fight, fight to the end. For God, for King, and for country. Away! Aki, aki, kia, kae. Pack up your troubles in your boat, get back and smile, smile, smile. While you're a Lucifer to light your flame, smile and dance the star. What's the use of worrying? That never was worthwhile. So, pack up your troubles in your boat, get back.
us to part. Darling, I caress you, I press you to my heart. And then if that far off land light, you'd hold me tight, we'd say goodnight, my lily of the lamplight, my own lily
As you wave me goodbye, cheerio, here I go on my way. Sheila, as you wave me goodbye, with a cheer, not a tear, making gay. Give me a smile, I give you all I want in my heart while I'm away. We meet once again, you and I.
And still the people come, in spite of wind and rain. The weather is something you forget about today, but there are posters to remind you that people in Europe need clothes. Everywhere there are bands. If you're tired of marching, you can try singing.
Before the break, those evergreen wartime songs were performed by the Maori Culture Unit from 2 Land Force Group in Linton Camp. And leading us in World War II's most famous song, We'll Meet Again, was the very popular singer who's starring in Cats, Tina Cross. Didn't she look the part in her whack uniform? And thanks too to Wellington actor Lorraine Parry for that haunting song, which we borrowed from the Germans, Lili Marlene. But of course, for soldiers in wartime, music normally meant parades, sergeant majors, spit and polish. March on, the New Zealand Army Band.
In Auckland, people flock into Queen Street. They're doing much the same as Wellingtonians are doing, as all New Zealanders are doing up and down the country.
December 7th, 1941 was one of World War II's most fateful days. The attack on Pearl Harbor brought America fully into the war and brought war closer to us. From then on, New Zealanders and Americans fought side by side. And for some 50,000 Americans on their way to the great battles in the Pacific, New Zealand became a second home. Tonight, the American troops are here again, but this time to celebrate. Please welcome, direct from their posting in Japan, the 3 Marine Expeditionary Force Band.
they've been here for just 3 days on the first visit to our country, but they've made the most of every minute. Band director Ron Pupils and drum major Greg Simons led the band on parades and in a great concert in Moab on Sunday, and what a wonderful demonstration they've given here tonight. The Three Marines Expeditionary Force Band from Okinawa, here to celebrate with us as New Zealand remembers.
For young children, peace is a new experience. They wonder if peace will always be like this. And still more people come. All day they crowd into the city. All day they celebrate. This is a never-to-be-forgotten day. It's a memorable day for everybody.
As dusk falls, somewhere over the Cook Strait, an old Catalina, one of those that guarded our seas in wartime, is ready to fly over the capital, and the guns of 163 Battery are ready to fire their tribute on this 50th anniversary. Thank you for remembering with us. I know those memories will continue as you join Sir Howard Morrison to sing our special song, the song that farewelled every troop ship with the brave men and women who went away to fight the war and win the peace. The massed bands will open our finale.
She's the only ship to go to sea with the name of the great province Waikato. But 50 years ago, the first Waikato, a minesweeper, had just been launched in Auckland. She was never commissioned. It's her granddaughter who celebrates the anniversary of the peace with us tonight. Up to the top of Parliament buildings. I've just been asked to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that these are not members of Parliament making an escape to set up a new party. They're actually instructors from the Army Adventure Training Centre who usually do this sort of thing down cliff faces in the Southern Alps or the Western Plateau. And you'll be delighted to see, Mr. Speaker, that they've not left a single mark on the lovely scrubbed walls of your refurbished Parliament building. Ladies and gentlemen, that must have been most welcome to shipwrecked sailors and ditched airmen. An old Catalina, the American-made flying boats that scoured the oceans on the lookout for enemy movements, and comrades and enemies lost at sea after ships had been sunk or planes forced down. Their long, vigilant patrols, invented search and rescue, played a huge part in winning the victory 50 years ago. It was established in 1950, first saw action in Korea. Since then, it's been based in Papakura and Burnham, Waiulu. And tonight, 6 of 163's guns, one right beside us here at Parliament, others along the waterfront at Oriental Parade, are firing tribute to those who helped to end the war 50 years ago, and to underline our profound hope that we can find ways to end all war, so that we, our children and grandchildren, can all live in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Howard Morrison.
Oh
That this programme screens again this Saturday afternoon at 3. Sports Night is coming next on TV1. Some say we shouldn't tell this story for fear of copycat tragedies. Others say that's masking the problem. Why are our kids killing themselves more than in any other developed country? Assignment probes a deadly issue. Thursday night on TV1.